Good evening, everybody. Good day, everybody. With me is Mr. Tapas. How are you doing today?
I'm good.
Great.
How are you?
I am doing good. My name is Joel. For Grace raised me up. And today, what are we doing, Mr. Tapas? Can you just give us a brief background?
Yeah, sure. He's conducting I'll not say speaking test, but a little bit background. How should be the speaking test?
Correct. So we are tackling how do we begin any topic. We will be going with the background.
Sure.
And then we will be framing all our sentences, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. So, chalo, I'll ask you some question. Okay. What mode of transport do you prefer, public or private, and why?
Okay. Firstly, I'm a traveler. I love to travel a lot. And I'll definitely prefer public transport over private transport, because the thing is, in public transport it's mainly it's a lot cheaper. In private transport you have to invest your cost, and you are the only sole traveler. In the public transport like bus or train, it's definitely cheap than traveling in a plane or something like that.
Very true. So what we have done over here is we have not just given the answer that I like public transport and then that's it. No. What he has done is his strategy was to give a background, because he's an avid traveler and he enjoys traveling. He chooses to prefer public transport because it is affordable, it's feasible, and it makes sense because in private one is only the sole person traveling. So if everyone is going the same way, why not go for the public one? Okay, now we'll try the same question once again, but instead of using the word public transport many times, try to say it in a different way. Context remains the same, in a different way. For example, something like paraphrasing. Okay, go ahead.
Sure. So I'll start from the bottom.
Yes. Go ahead.
I'm a traveler. I love to travel a lot. So I prefer public transport over private transport, as it is very cost effective. The cost compared of the public transport and private transport is, if you compare that, you will definitely prefer public transport.
Okay, hold on. Two things. We can also look in the camera.
Sure.
Okay. This will help us more gain confidence.
Okay.
Moreover, there's still this public transport there. It's there. So, what do you think we could use that? Definitely, we cannot use a synonym for it. Ultimately, or at least on this problem moment. How about this? Since I am an avid traveler, or I love traveling, I believe I would choose public transport any day over a private one. The reasons would be it is more cost effective. Not only that, but I believe if everyone is going in the same direction, why not choose the most effective means of transport? See how I've kept the same sentence and avoided transport.
Instead of using the public transport again, just to join both the sentence.
Exactly. So it can be a creative canvas. What can you try instead of that? Okay? Just think and just go ahead. Okay?
Sure.
Take 3. Go ahead.
Okay. So I'll start from the bottom again.
Very good.
So I love traveling. I'm a traveler. So in my life, I definitely prefer traveling using public transport instead of private transport, because it's much cost effective than the private transport.
Once again, it's much cost effective. Stop. Okay. Or you can say it's not only cost effective, but also I enjoy the journey. It's just some kind of passive company which I get from strangers traveling along with me. See, if I can say full stop, it will just completely fine. But how about I stretch it a little bit, just to get why he loves travel.
So 2 different sentences together.
Club. Correct. Okay.
So I'll say, yeah. I'll say that I prefer using public transport than private transport, as it's cost effective. Not only cost effective, but also it helps to interact with strangers. I am an extrovert, so so traveling in a private vehicle is very difficult for me. But instead, I use public transport. I get to interact with people, with different people, and if I'm visiting some another city, then definitely I'll prefer some kind of public transport like bus. Because in that you'll get to meet different people, the different language, the different culture. You get to know people.
Very true. Now the content is super. Okay, it's original as well related to many. How about we try to say the same content or the context this way. Okay, you mentioned you are an extrovert and you like meeting with strangers and getting and engaging into a conversation with them. Correct? How about this? I love to travel, or since I am an avid traveler, anything. Okay, I enjoy public transport. Now I'll be very careful. Okay, now I have used my vocabulary. Public transport.
Right.
Not to use it anytime soon.
Right.
Okay, we make a mental note. I prefer public transport over private transport. Now that ship is sailed. I cannot use it once again. Correct? How about this? The number one reason is not only it is cost effective, but also, see now I'm speaking slowly. I'm trying to think what best could be the reason. Okay, very slowly. Because even if I forget, or even if I'm not able to construct something or the other, I won't be able to manage. This kind of a mindset. Okay. Not only it is cost effective, but also since I'm an extrovert, I believe I enjoy engaging with strangers or fellow passengers, as it gives me a chance to speak the language and also get to know the culture of the cities where I will be traveling, where otherwise would be impossible if I will be traveling on my own using my own vehicle. Okay? There is no limitation. I know the context, so I'm just trying to think how to say that without using the word. Okay? Try it. You will be able to do it. Go ahead. Okay? Once again.
Yes. So I love traveling.
Yes.
I am a frequent traveler.
Very good.
So I definitely prefer public transport over private transport.
Okay.
It is cost effective. It saves a lot of money. Not only just save money or just cost effective, it definitely helps you to interact with different kind of people when you are traveling. Because if, for example, we'll take a bus. If you are traveling over, but there are many people over there, also many age group and many categories. So you get to interact with them. You get to know what is going around and all those things. There is just random talking.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we try to finish it with that, and since I'm an extrovert, I prefer such mode of a transport.
Okay, so I prefer taking public transport then.
No, we'll not repeat it. And since I'm an extrovert, okay, you'll end up this way.
Okay.
Since I'm an extrovert, I prefer traveling with fellow passengers.
Okay. Maybe in this kind of.
Which way?
No, so just to explain that.
No, I was giving the actual sentence.
Okay.
So, because the question was which mode of transport you prefer, public or transport?
Right.
So you mentioned it is cost effective,
Right.
the public one,
Okay.
and since you meet so many people,
Right.
and since you're an extrovert, you prefer this mode of transport.
Okay.
It's quite stretched the idea. We have stretched this in a way, okay?
Okay.
So this one, we'll check it one more time
Okay.
and see how you come up with it.
Okay.
The content is good.
Right.
Okay, you are able to think on the spot. At the same time, be relaxed. You're doing it. How about we pay a little close attention
Right.
to the repetitive words? Okay? Go ahead.
Okay. So I'm a frequent traveler. I love traveling a lot, and as I'm a frequent traveler, it's hard for me to afford private traveling. So I definitely prefer public transport. So in public means, as you know, I'm an extrovert. I love talking. So in public, in this, sorry.
Yes. Very good. Go ahead. Immediately. Come back.
I was using the public transport
Yes,
again, so
yes.
so I ended it there.
Okay, very
So I'll
good.
start again.
Go ahead.
So I love traveling a lot.
Okay.
I'm a frequent traveler, and being a frequent traveler, it's hard for me to afford private traveling. So I definitely prefer public transport. In public transport, you get to know many people. As for example,
Very good, very good. You would see learning process, self-correction. When you meet that process, no self-correction, you're learning.
Right.
Okay, so it is very good. It's working in our favor. Okay, you're going good. Go ahead.
It will be the last time for sure.
Okay, it's okay.
No, for sure.
What? It will.
It will be the last time. I'm trying.
Okay.
I'm trying.
No worries. You
There
go
will be no
ahead.
repetition. Yeah.
Okay, you can do it.
Yes. So I'm a frequent traveler. I love traveling a lot, and as I said, I'm a frequent traveler. It's very hard for me to afford the private transport. So means I used to do a private traveling a lot, but due to the cost matter, I shift to public transport. It is very much cost effective than the private transport.
Okay, you're going good without any mistake.
Okay.
A little slow on the gear.
Okay.
You'll be able to maneuver and
Okay.
have control much better on your content. Okay,
Okay.
you're going good.
Okay.
Little slow.
So I love travel.
Yeah. Go ahead. Keep at it.
So I love traveling a lot. I'm a frequent traveler.
Yes.
So as I said, I'm a frequent traveler. It's hard for me to afford the private travel. So I switched to public transport. It's very cost effective. Also, as you know that I'm an extrovert. So it's easy for me to interact with people in the public transport. It's not hard for me to just just to sit. So that sum up, I guess. So that's the thing. That's why
I prefer.
I prefer private transport, public transport.
Okay, we not use that public transport. That's the main reason I prefer traveling with others,
Okay.
even if they are strangers.
Right.
Something like that. Okay.
Oh, okay. I use it somewhere.
Yeah.
As I'm an extrovert, I
Yeah,
get that.
that will be a perfect area.
Right.
Good, go ahead.
So I love, first of all, I love traveling. I'm a
Very good.
frequent traveler.
Very good.
As I said, I'm a frequent traveler. It's hard for me. It's very hard for me to use the private transport.
Right.
So to overcome that, I definitely use the public transport. It's
Yeah.
very cost effective. It's not, and as you know, I'm an introvert. So not only
Extrovert.
so sorry.
You're going good. Okay.
Yeah, what's one more?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. It's very good. I hope this is helping us
Yeah, it's definitely helping. Yeah.
sharpen up our skills. I believe.
Yeah, I'm just overcoming one by one. It's not
Yes,
at the
yes.
same time everything, but
Yes.
overcoming the fluency, the different.
I'm not stopping you on every point. I'm trying not to,
Okay.
because there are some areas where you're doing quite good.
Okay.
In some areas there is still a repetitive thing.
But just the thing in the last part, I have to use the public transport.
because our mind tells us, okay, if not
Because
this,
we are talking about public transport only. Yeah.
it is very obvious. You have to see public transport. But how about I say, okay, I understand that. I mean this to myself. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I have to use public transport to be very specific. How about I say it in a different manner altogether?
Okay.
Okay, hence I choose to prefer along with strangers, and it has been helping me in many ways.
Okay.
Something, even if it is not actually my answer, but it is helping me not to say public transport at least.
Okay.
You know? Go ahead.
So I love traveling. I'm a frequent traveler. So as I'm a frequent traveler, I can't afford.
African travelers again there. I'm
Okay.
a frequent traveler, and as I'm a frequent
Okay,
traveler,
so that's
we'll
why.
try some grammar sentence there.
Okay.
How about this? As I love traveling, I happen to be a frequent traveler,
Okay.
and
Maybe it has been maybe a drawback for me to use the private transport. I can say
Okay.
that.
And for this very reason,
I have to switch from private transport to public transport.
yes, as it is more cost effective.
Cost effective.
We've given a more positive way.
Okay, so this will be a single sentence.
Yes, this has been a single sentence since you have begun the sentence,
Okay.
and it's up to you to either put a full stop or to stretch it. Okay, I would prefer that you stretch this one. Okay, go ahead once again.
So I love traveling.
Yeah.
I'm a frequent traveler.
Very good speed.
And because of that, I have to switch from private transport to public transport.
I have to.
I
I
had
had to. Correct.
So I love traveling, and I'm a frequent traveler. And
Correct.
because of that, I had to switch from private transport to public transport, as it's very cost effective.
Very good.
Not only cost effective, but it helps to interact with people. Let me tell you, I'm an extrovert, so it helps me a lot to interact with different people.
Yeah. And hence, I would prefer this mode of transport over any other.
Okay.
Because this being, see, IELTS gives preference to pronounce quite a lot.
Okay.
So if you have mentioned this, they understand, okay, even though he spoke quite a lot in distribution between two ideas, he was still able to, maintain the connectivity,
Right.
the coherence,
And explaining the
the
public
relation.
transport.
Yeah.
Right.
And when he used the word this, I understood that he has a command of the language times 4.
Okay.
So, and hence like to prefer this mode of transport over any other, any given day. So, yeah, go ahead. This is more in the camera.
So I love traveling.
Yes.
I'm a frequent traveler.
Very good.
And because of that, I have to switch from private transport to public transport for the cost matter.
Yes.
Not only that, but let me tell you, I'm an extrovert.
Very good.
So it helps me in interact with many people when I'm using this mode of public transport.
You're going good. You're going good.
Yeah. So I love traveling.
Yeah.
I'm a frequent traveler.
Very good.
And because of that, I had to switch from private transport to public transport because it's very much cost effective. Let me tell you, I'm an extrovert. So using this mode of transport, it helps me to interact with different kind of people, to sharing the thoughts and cultures and all those things. So definitely I'll prefer this mode of transporting from any other.
I like this answer much better. Yes, very good. You're best side. Okay. Totally. You nailed it, man. Perfect. Okay.